Hello and welcome to another episode of The Eden's Jam. It's good to have you. Let me know, have you been enjoying our conversations and our discussions and our knowledge in what we're gleaning from Motherhood May? Again, The Eden's Gem is a channel where it's linked to our sister, our mother, I don't know, community. Is it sister community or mother community? I don't know. Called the Beauties of Eden. If you're a woman and you're a part of the Beauties of Eden community, I don't know what you're waiting for. Join us. You can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group and then we have a Facebook page as well. Most of the happenings happen in the group. So make sure you look for us and you join us where we delve more in what we call conversation in the garden. But these episodes, so the month of May, we every month we have a theme, and for the month of May, we had themed it Motherhood May, where we're learning and talking all things motherhood. So I come in here and give you synopsis of what my personal thoughts are on motherhood. But in the community, we've had this entire month, we've had guests join me in what we call Conversation in the Garden, where it's about an hour-long conversation where we get different perspectives from different mothers. Our first conversation was with Mrs. Hannah Awodzi, who came, has a daughter. She lives in Ghana, has a daughter with cerebral palsy. So she's a mother with a child with disabilities, and she is pioneering in a country where there are no policies to support families with disabilities, and she is pioneering. So you may want to check her out, see what she's doing, and support her. And then the following week, we had Mrs. Yawa Hansen Kwao join us to discuss all things motherhood from a professional standpoint. And then the third week, which is this past week, from this episode that you're listening now, we had Mrs. Sheila Noy come in and share her motherhood journey with us as well. And then, let me see. This past Saturday, we had the privilege of sitting with Dr. Vivian Yakpo Newton to discuss motherhood journey. How are we raising and being prepared to raise the next generation? And so, if these are conversations that you want to hear, join us in the Facebook group so that you can hear the perspective from these women as well. As always, we want to give a shout out to our production team right here, Bless Production and Eyes Have Not Seen. They bring these episodes to you as I chip, 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 chip. Because if they didn't do their thing, you probably would see my face all like, I don't know, my colors will all be mixed up and all sorts of things happening. For those that are enjoying the reels, it's also them. They look at it, they decide with the leading of the Holy Spirit, I guess, what part of the segment is going to pull in as the reel. So please give them a thumbs up, clap for them, give a shout out to them. Today we're talking about a mother worthy of an award. Again, last episode I talked about the difference between Michal as a mother and Rispa as a mother. And we talked about there is no such thing as a perfect mother. But I believe that there are mothers worthy of an award. You see, if you've ever watched an award show, the award is not given to the perfect person. It's given to the person that stood out. Let me say that again. Just because a person got an award does not mean that their work or whatever it is that they did was perfect. It just means that their work stood out among others. And so, even though I believe that there's no such thing as perfect 100% or A plus motherhood, there are certain characteristics and qualities that is worthy of an award. And today I'm going to give you briefly 5 things that makes a mother worthy of an award. The first one is that a mother that is worthy of an award is not necessarily the woman who has birthed many children or has birthed a child. Example is the story between Michal and Rispa. If we had to pick between these two women and give an award, who would have warranted the award? The woman that probably we assume was going through so much grief that she couldn't bear to see the sight of her children and whatever would have happened to them, or the mother that, in spite of her own grief, decided that she was going to go out there and lay outside on a rock through the storms and everything for 3 months, according to the Bible, and make sure that no vultures or wild beasts touched the dead bodies of the sons. Which mother is worthy of a reward? So you see, when it comes to motherhood, it's not necessarily the woman that has given birth. That leads me to point number 2. She is the woman who understands that the future is dependent upon the generation she is responsible to influence. It sounds like a mouthful, but basically, in a nutshell, it's not necessarily the biological woman that is worthy of an award, but it's any woman. When we talk about motherhood, it's alluded to the female gender. So any woman that sets up and decides and understands that my actions are going to affect the next generation. And so the people that are in my circle of influence, I understand that what I do is going to affect them, is for me, to me, is a mother worthy of an award. You see, I've watched many women who may not necessarily have birth children, or even if they've birthed children, they're put in an environment. Example is in a classroom where you have a female teacher who is nurturing the next generation. They may have 20 students in there if they are a very good teacher. Those children are going to grow up with some sort of an imprint from that teacher. So even though there are he teachers as well, but we're talking about motherhood. So even though she did not biologically birth any one of those children in that classroom, she understands that her actions are going to have an effect on the way she influences the people around her for the next generation. That leads me to point number 3. A mother worthy of an award, she sets intentions on how she raises the next generation she comes in contact with, be it her own or not. You see, I shared that children are a gift that it's been given to us. The way that some biological mothers parent their children is actually a detriment to the future generation. Now, before you stone me, let me explain. You see, sometimes as mothers, we mother our children so much that we set them up for failure. If a woman understands that her mothering role is for the future generation, she sets an intention. That means if she has to take away the device for her child to learn social skills, she's going to take it. It means if she has to say no so that they can go to bed on time and have the best quality of sleep, she does. So, a mother worthy of an award is not one that just produces children and then just go happy and say, I have 5 children, I have 6 children, I have 10 children, I have a child. It is a mother that thinks the future beyond just her own children, but the future of other children. So that if she needs to get intervention for her children because they're on drugs or they are in a bad company, she's not doing it just for her child alone. She's doing it saying, if I don't correct and discipline this behavior or intercept this behavior, in the future, other people are going to pay for it. And then we go to point number 4. She spends time on educating and empowering herself with skills to nurture the next generation. So this is a mother that, like previous episode I had shared about, the mother that parents based on what was handed to her. But there comes a time where a mother that's worthy of receiving an award would sit down with herself and say, the way I was parented, I'm seeing that there are certain negatives. And so I'm going to go out there and read books. I'm going to go out there and attend seminars and courses and plug myself in environments where I am equipped and empowered with the skills and the tools that I need so that that which was given to me that did not produce any good effect from bloodline to bloodline, I'm going to empower myself to stop it. That is a mother worthy of receiving an award. And then finally, she empowers her children to the point that they rise up and call her blessed. A mother that is worthy of an award is a mother whose children can look in the future and see how much they're blessing to society and say, if it was not for my mother. Abraham Lincoln, the father of America, has this quote that with everything that he does, it was a result of his mother. Do you know, I just found out that Abraham Lincoln lost his mother when he was only 9 years old. Just a short 9-year span, this woman was able to influence her son to the point that just 9 years, when I read that, I was like, just 9 years? And she had this much influence in that short span for this grown man that founded a nation to say, everything that I did was because of my mother. That is a mother worthy of an award. That is a mother worthy of an award. I don't know who Daniel in the Bible, I don't know who his parents are. But we know that Daniel, living in the king's palace, did not have his parents there. But let's see the decisions that Daniel made. His mother deserves an award because that mother put so much in that young man that even when he was caught in between a rock and a hard place, he did not bow. Let's look at Joseph. Joseph is caught in Potiphar's house. No cameras there. And Potiphar's house is saying, come and lay with me. And there's no way that woman would have laid with him and then go and broadcast it. But you know what Joseph said? Joseph said, I cannot do this against your husband, my master, and God, my creator. Joseph was not raised by his mother for a long time because his mother died giving birth to his brother, Benjamin. And I don't know the age span between the two of them, but for that short time, a mother's influence made a young man far away from home choose the right thing. That kind of motherhood is what deserves an award. If we look at Joseph's mother, she was not perfect. Rachel was far from perfection. But I believe the principles that she had learned along the journey that she passed on to her son is what made Joseph make the right decisions. That, my dear listeners, is a mother worthy of an award. So I want to ask you this question. Whether your biological mother, a spiritual mother, a community mother, are you worthy of an award? And that's how we end up this Motherhood May. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next episode.